Hey, WeUNIK world. I'm behind the camera. Mom is in front of the camera today. And so what we're going to do is I have a list of how many questions? I have a list of 16 random topics. So Mama is going to pick between 1 and 16 and then give her feedback on whatever topic. All right. So Mommy, from 1. Now let me preface this. There are varying degrees of deepness. There are some that go all the way to the ocean, and then there's some that are real surface level. So just to give you a understanding before we get started. So between 1 through 16.
Let's try 3.
3. All right. So what tips do you have with dealing with menopause?
What tips do I have when dealing with menopause? Don't.
What does that mean?
Basically, the main thing I learned with dealing with menopause is to lower cortisol levels. Control your cortisol levels at all times. Cortisol is a stress hormone. So when we stop having cycles, our what's the female hormone called? Estrogen.
Yeah.
Estrogen lessens, and our cortisol levels naturally just start to spike. Mm-hmm. And constant elevated cortisol levels is bad for anyone. But people who are in menopause, your body makes more of it because our bodies are aging. They know we're not going to make any more babies, so they just literally start shutting down and trying to kill themselves. Like cortisol is a stress hormone because it really will kill you if you don't manage it. Right. So the number one thing to do to control menopausal symptoms is to control your cortisol levels. Be that, starting an exercise routine, but not too harsh, like walking, meditating, taking art classes, cooking classes, whatever you can do to be at peace. You'll keep your cortisol levels low and you'll have fewer menopausal symptoms.
So one thing I noticed that a lot of other women that are in menopause deal with that you don't necessarily deal with anymore is hot flashes and heat flashes. So am I just misinterpreting my view, or what's
no anymore is real?
Okay.
Because I was having hot flashes, girl. And I thought they were temporary. I thought that hot flashes come people get cold symptoms and they're gone in a couple weeks. Right. That's what I thought. I thought hot flashes come, they leave in a couple weeks when you stop your cycle, but no. So it was when I heard and learned that hot flashes last for 10 years.
Oh my gosh.
That I was like, oh no, I can't do that.
Sheesh.
So it is not normal to not have them. I was having them on a regular, many a day.
Okay.
And I really don't have them anymore.
So can you tell, first off, what even is a hot flash? And then how did you get to the point where you don't experience them? So, yes, girl. Tell us.
Try not to say the whole story, but because I actually did a podcast about it. But a hot flash is, if you can imagine, for me, it's my head. Each woman has a different area of her body. If you can imagine, you're sitting minding your business.
Right.
Not, just chilling, minding your business. And all of a sudden, you feel as if your affected body part is in an oven that's on broil. All of a sudden, you get hot AF. So me, it was my face. And I,
What'd you do?
Well, the first time it happened?
Yeah. Tell us. Yeah. What was the first hot flash like? Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that.
Am I having one now?
No,
am I blushing? I'm blushing. Yes. Oh my God, the first hot flash.
Yeah.
On my way to the CIAAs.
Okay.
It was the last year in Richmond.
Okay.
Yes, last year they were in Richmond. I was with my mom. And we were headed for our road trip to CIAAs to see our woo-woo, my woo-woo. Woo-woo! Yes. At her first CI. So,
no, those are my first CIs.
Oh, it was the first one I attended. Okay. It was Richmond.
Wait, Richmond, CIAA was not in Richmond. CIAA was in Charlotte.
Thank you. It was in Charlotte. Okay. I knew it was one of them southern states. I'm a northerner, y'all.
Yeah,
it's one of them southern states. So it was in Charlotte. So we were on our way down. We stopped by CVS. It was empty. It was me, my mother, and the lady at the cash register, and everything was fine. I was laughing with my mom. Everything, it was quiet in the store, and we were paying, and all of a sudden, it felt like someone really put my whole head in a hot oven. Like, no joke, hot.
Wow. Dripping
sweat as if I was exercising hot. And I was like, oh my God, what is going on? So I started saying, like, you know, I was fanning myself, like, what the F is going on? And I couldn't hide it because I looked like Whitney Houston during a concert. You know, she used to sweat a lot. Like, I was drenched just from here.
Just out of nowhere.
Girl, I was standing at the register minding my business, and suddenly I looked like someone threw a bucket of water on me.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't stopping. It was intensely hot. And I said, you know me, I don't know how to be quiet. So I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And the lady behind, she didn't talk the whole time. But she looked up, she said, oh baby, it's your first one. And her and my mom slapped fives.
Oh no.
And started laughing. Yeah, they thought it was hilarious. And I did not think it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I had just learned how to do my makeup. And it was messing my makeup up.
Yeah.
And then we got in the car, and she explained it was a hot flash. And she was just laughing, like, get used to it. Her and the lady, actually, before we walked out, they were just laughing because I was like, I can't do this. Right. And they were like, oh no, you're gonna do it, and it's the normal thing. Welcome to our world, da 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 da. And you know, my mom was making jokes the whole ride down south about buying fans and stuff like that. And I was like, that's what you think. I ain't buying shit. We can beef it out. But that's what I say. I ain't buying shit. I ain't dealing with this mess.
Right.
And so that's what happened. I just realized, and it started happening on a regular. I noticed whenever I would get stressed, they would happen more intensely. And sometimes they just sneak up on me. I'll be sitting, laughing at something, really being happy and upbeat, and all of a sudden, it feels like my head was in a sauna.
So how did you
did
you get to the point? And by the way, we're not doctors. This is not advice. This is all educational. But like, how did you get out of the menopause phase or something?
Because me and God had a conversation. Well, no, actually, I was like, you know what? I can deal with it, because I thought it was a phase. And then when I asked somebody, like another woman, I'll be glad when these hot flashes go away, you know. And she was like, me too. And I'm like, you significantly older than me, so what you talking about, me too? And that's when I learned they last like 10 years. Like, they never go away for some women. And that's when I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I used to have migraines and stuff. I was able to stop them. So I'm like, Lord, you got to help a sister out.
Right.
I just learned how to do my makeup. I feel young at heart, and I'm not trying to walk around with no fans all the time. And it was on my face, so it wasn't like I could hide it.
Right.
Like, I don't think you've seen a full-blown one, because I got it under control when you came back up north. But it was just, I'm too vain a person to allow that to happen. So I started researching, studying, and that's when I found the cortisol link. And I think you remember, I used to do like really intense cardio. And we only talk about the hot flashes, but menopause causes big bellies as well. It really makes you no longer have an hourglass figure at all.
Really?
Girl, yes. Your belly, like, that's why so many, you can tell a woman's face can be beat, but you can tell her age by her shape. More square shapes are menopausal shapes. Stereotypical menopausal. Yes, girl. But the hourglass figure, so yeah. So I was really working out, doing these intense exercises, and wasn't getting my hourglass shape back. Remember, I started looking like SpongeBob SquarePants for a while. And nothing I was doing was making my belly go down, and I was having increasing hot flashes. And then I read that the mustache was next. So I was like, no.
Oh,
yeah, I was
no.
like, I can't do this. I
no
still
offense to
feel,
ladies with
yeah,
mustaches,
but no,
oh,
I couldn't do it.
Gosh,
So
what?
I started studying and realized cortisol
Sheesh.
is linked to everything. And I just, yeah, so, oh yes, I was saying, so I was doing these really intense cardio, which was fun to me.
Right.
But I realized my body was treating it like stress because it was not fun to my body. So when I switched to walking and doing them TikTok, I think they're Chinese.
Yeah,
they look silly, but they really help older menopausal women. It really helps your body get fit without feeling stressed, so your cortisol levels do not increase, because your cortisol will make you sick, fat, and dead.
Alrighty. So, fair enough. So in closing, what would you say to someone who is like right at that stage where they're in menopause and is also kind of like well, maybe not in closing because it just brought me to another question. So before I get that question, I'm like a coach. I'm like, but wait, there's one more and then there's another one. So, because I just feel like this might be important. Did that make you like realize like, oh wow, like life is happening?
Yes.
Like the fact that you hit menopause.
Yes. Well, I will say that I know a lot of women feel less of a woman when they have. I didn't have that at all. I was like, yes, I can wear white pants.
Yeah. Well,
so I was just like, I really want
that.
But I did think like, wow, dang, shit, I'm 50. Like 50 years have passed, like really fast, and it just made me more effort, like young women listening. The older you get, the less you care what people think.
Yeah.
Like I cannot express enough how little you care, and I just thought, wow, I wish I had spent a lot more time not caring so much what people said, and part of lowering the cortisol is doing what the F I want to do with my life in ways that don't hurt people. And so that's my advice to women. When you're getting towards that age, start taking care of yourself first before you enter menopause, and then you'll probably have less of an emotional hit when you do.
Right.
Cause I'm like balls to the walls now. Shit, it's all downhill from now. Let me just throw my hands up and have a ball.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Shoot. All right. So.
But it's all manageable.
Okay.
Menopausal symptoms are manageable, and don't listen to anyone who lies and tells you, "Oh, this is just how it is." You just have to accept slowly turning into a man, not by your choice. And I'm here to say you don't have to.
Fair enough. That was going to be my last question. Like, what would you tell someone who's just hitting that mark of like, oh my gosh, it's a hot flash and it's a this and a that, and maybe they don't have anyone to ask questions to, like what would you say outside of course watching more of our videos, because we will be doing more menopause talks, more advice talks, mom talks, and just things like that, because not everybody has such a amazing, lovely mother as yourself. So we will be doing more of these. But what would you say to someone who may not have a support system? By the way, we are creating a community, so depending on when you watch this, if you have personal questions that you want to actually ask Mommy in our private chat, you can do that. Depending on when you watch this, it'll either already be up or it's coming up, so please make sure you check those links below so you can stay tuned for when the community and the courses are available. Now, with that being said, what would your feedback be to someone who hasn't yet joined the WeUNIK world or something like that, and they're really just in a kind of lost, because it's like, oh my gosh, menopause. What was your words of wisdom?
I would say unplug from the horror stories, because there are a lot of horror stories, but there are a lot of women who have transitioned into menopause seamlessly.
Right.
And that's what I did. I talked to two sets of women. I talked to the legions of women who were accepted what they were taught, that look, it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. This is my life. And then I spoke with another much smaller set of women who were are thriving in menopause, and if you ain't know how old they were, you would not know they were in menopause.
Right.
And so that's my advice to people: talk to and seek advice from people who have the existence that you desire. And if you don't know anyone who's managing menopause well outside of watching us, they're on YouTube. Right. There's a lot of women who are aging gracefully on YouTube. And gracefully doesn't only mean, okay, not wearing makeup, whatever, but gracefully means taking care of your body to the best of your ability so that you gracefully enter old age and hopefully have a long, healthy life.
Yeah. And I like to say seasoned, not old age, seasoned. Because you get better with marination. And the longer you're here, the better you get. Amen. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Seasoned.
So thank you.
Because I think the calendar lying. I know I don't feel 50.
Yeah, but you don't look 50 either, girl.
Oh, thank you.
So, alrighty. So with that being said, thank you guys. This was actually our first one. So how do you feel, mother?
Well, to be honest, proud, because I have been in, as you know, I have been in a hermit mode, and this is so, now I'm getting emotional. Oh, this is very uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, I understand.
Especially, it's uncomfortable for me to make podcasts that don't show my face.
Right.
So to sit here and on purpose talk in front of a camera, it means a lot. It's a big deal. It's not comfortable to me. This is so not in my comfort zone. But you know what? I'm 50, F it. Right. And if I don't go for my dreams now, I never will. Right. Literally. So yeah, let's do it. Let's make some money.
Alrighty. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Please leave your comments below. If you have any questions that you want us to answer, especially regarding menopause or something like that, please leave them in the comments. Like I said, we are creating a community. So depending on when you watch this, it's either already up with courses, in-person events, virtual events, you name it. But if not, just stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? We're here for now. With that being said, like this video, comment, share, subscribe, send it to someone that can use it, and we'll see you next time.